What up, good people? Let's talk about it. So, since my last blog, I always say a lot of stuff really need to change, because here it is, I have been, doing a whole lot of stuff, and I'll tell y'all about it on a later date. Right now, I want to talk about something that went on this past weekend that, quite disturbing to me. And it was a situation where the couple that had a little dispute on Facebook Live, and turn back around, all of a sudden the guy killed his old lady and killed himself. And as I was watching the couple of lives that I was able to see, I was just like, wow, I understand about some things, you may get on and talk about this, that, and the third, but some things you really don't have to talk about like that. You ain't got to jump out there and, tell everything that's going on with your business or whatever. So, because, I guess where it is now, we live in this era where, we can expose whoever, whatever, however, and that's pretty much how it is. When beforehand, things used to be very secretive, so you pretty much can find out anything and everything if that type of person that willing to tell their business or whatever. So, but as I'm watching the live and how the guy was going back and forth and saying how Shawty gave him STDs and everything or so, and it was just, you could pretty much tell as I'm watching both of those lives, I'm like, I know this finna go left. Like, I just felt it. I felt that it was gonna go left and everything. And I didn't think it would go that far with it. Well, lives had to be taken. And that gotta be, crazy, Then the fact about, his kids in the house. That's what, was so disturbing to me, that you had kids in the house. And I was just like, damn, man, there's kids in the house. So I pretty much, didn't too much like it like that, because I'm like, man, I just wish it could have been, like, it's all right to have that conversation, but you ain't gonna get nowhere when y'all yelling at each other. Like, you literally not gonna go nowhere with it. It just gonna elevate. It gonna heat. Once it get heated, it's just gonna elevate and elevate and elevate. And before you know it, it just turn into a whole big old thing. So, excuse me, I ain't gonna hold you, I'm tired. But I want to do my blog. I want to do that, But you just know it's gonna escalate even more, That's why when certain situations, like something that's serious or whatever, so like I know I had to take that moment and pray and gather my thoughts together and approach that situation in a better way, not approaching it with animosity, because when you approach it like that, it always tends to turn into a whole situation. And here it is. Look what happened. Like I say, you know, it's crazy, you know. And like I say, I feel bad for the kids because they had to lose both of their parents, you know. And I'm just praying and hoping that, you know, the kids will be around a loving family to the point that, you know, they gonna take care of them the right way and everything. So, you know, I just pray and hope they're gonna be around someone that's gonna give them unconditional love, you know. And you know how some situations can turn out to be. It can turn out to be where, you know, especially with the foster care system and how that crazy shit can be, you know. And I'm talking about that shit can be super crazy to the point where, you know, y'all know, you know, getting sexual assaulted and everything, so get beaten and everything. Like it just a whole crazy situation. You feel me? Like I said, I just pray and hope that everything, you know, work out for the best for the kids. You know, because like I say, it's sad that this situation had to go the way it went, and to the point where, you know, it was just wild, man. Like I said, I couldn't believe it. You know, I could not believe it. And I was just like, wow, man. You know, it's a crazy situation. You know. Crazy, you know, and I mean, to a certain extent, I kind of get it, you know, in a way, because I think back to, you know, my cousin Alberta, you know what I'm saying, rest in peace to her, man. You know, I never forget, you know, years back, I had came down to visit my brother Dre, rest in peace to him. Welcome to the place on the safe side. Man. So I came down and visit him where he was staying at the time in Augusta, right? So, and him and my cousin Alberta, they stayed in the same neighborhood, right? So I never forget how, man, y'all, that shit was so crazy. So I come down there, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm visiting them and this, that, and the third. You know, so next thing you know, it was like vans kept pulling up. So I'm thinking like, man, it was on some narcotic type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they finna, you know, bust niggas, you know? Man, y'all, when I found out, like, it was this one dude, bruh. This one dude, this nigga had AIDS. So he was just passing that shit around. To different females, right? Now, mind you, now, them females wind up, you know, messing with other dudes and all that shit. Man, bro, that was, they was just pulling motherfucker left to right, bro. Left to right. And then my cousin got pulled in that situation. You know, my cousin died from complication with AIDS because off that one dude. And it was sad, bruh, to witness that was just, I never seen such. So that's why I can say, like, man, oh, bro. Like, even that made me even more had to be more protective. You know what I'm saying? Like before, you know, I met my wife. You know what I'm saying? I used to sit up here and randomly just go take tests. You know what I'm saying? Just for the hell of it. Like, no, because I know at the time I was out there. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't going, you know, shake my shit on the dice table like that. Like, hell no, I ain't trying to crap out, nigga. Like, no, I'm not doing that. So that's how that shit had me, bro. Cause I witnessed that. You feel me? Like, I witnessed some crazy shit like that. You know, and don't get me wrong, like, I can sit up here and honestly say, you know what I'm saying, I've been in a situation like that where I'm in a relationship with a female and she's not being totally honest with me. And then all of a sudden, I get burnt by her. All of a sudden, we go to the clinic, right? So we go to the clinic. So Pete, right? So Shawty, when the doctor and the nurse, you know what I'm saying, checked me out, this, that, and the third, right? So they checked me out with her. Said with her. So they had her too. They had another room. And they let her know what was popping, this, that, and the third. So then they say, you know, they told her that she can go in the same room with me, right? So Shawty tried to lie when the nurse came in there to give us a shot. Tried to lie and say, well, this how it was. So nurse came in there with 2 needles. Give us the shot, right? Next thing you know, before, let me go back. So before the nurse came in there, Shawty had tried to say she ain't have nothing. So how the fuck you ain't got nothing? I said, so what you trying to say? I don't know where you got it from. I said, I ain't been with nobody but you. I ain't been with nobody but you. So I don't know where you getting that from. You know what I'm saying? Like, where you get that crazy idea from, right? That I been with somebody. You know. And turn back around, the nurse came in there. So the nurse came in there and she like, you know, Mr. Harris, you know, got the shot for it and then called her last name out and tell her, like, hey, we got your shot too, this and the third. Oh, he said, I ain't got nothing. So nurse looking crazy. Like, what? So the nurse like, yeah, you do got whatever. Okay, I think it was chlamydia at the time. It was chlamydia. So she tried to lie. He said, I ain't got nothing. He said, I ain't got nothing. Like that. So the nurse said, hold on, walked out the door. So she went and got the doctor and told the doctor what my girl said, right? Turn back around, y'all. The nurse came back in the door and the doctor came right behind her. And called my girl out. And said this right in front of me. Said just like this. He said, you do have chlamydia. You gave the chlamydia to him because you been had chlamydia. This ain't your first time being in here. Just like that. I said, whoa. Are you serious? Just like that. I said, man, come on. I mean, busted her out I'm like, see, you try to make it seem like it was me and it's you. So turn back around, sat right there and told him, plain as day, like, no, you gotta get this shot. I know you're probably like, damn, that's crazy as fuck. Y'all, I'm telling you, that shit was so crazy, brother. I could not believe that shit. Like, but you try to make it seem like it was me and it's you. So we both had to get a shot and everything. So, you know what I'm saying? And now I ain't gonna hold you. My dumb ass, I ain't lead a stupid motherfucker alone. That was my dumb ass, Like, I can own my shortcoming. Like, I can own that. Ain't nothing to me. Yeah, I fucked up, But, like I said, I get where Buddy was coming from, with the situation. If that shit is true, the way he's saying it, however, because they was kind of back and forth and everything else, but really shit, no tissue, bro. Like, I mean, I like I said, I've been through the situation, so I know exactly what it's about and how that shit can be, you know what I'm saying? How that shit can be at times, real shit. Like, I get it, because you caught in a situation that you don't want to be a part of. Right? And turn back around, you wind up being a part of it. And that shit just, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of fuck you up. It fucks you up, because you looking at the fact of, okay, this could have been something worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, this could be something that I can't get rid of. Which it was. So, I mean, the only thing I can do is pray for the family and most importantly, pray for the kids. Hope they be around some people, good people that gonna take care of them and treat them right and not put them through any type of ringer and everything. And so, I mean, I just hope for the best for the kids, It's the only thing I can do, and just pray for the family, both sides of the family and everything. That's the only thing I can do is just pray for them and just hopefully, things work out for the best, So I'm that I can pretty much say, y'all already know what this is. Quote the C4, nevermore.